let's get this party on the road here. So yeah, we're gonna talk about cool stuff. So this will be fun. That's me. I'm a special education teacher. Teach math 6 through 8. I'm a podcaster. I'm on a lot of podcasts, but I have a podcast of my own called the Open Ed Tech Podcast. We talk about free and open source software for education. I'm a free culture advocate. I spend a lot of time going to conferences and stuff about this. And obviously, from the picture, I'm the devourer of cupcakes. So there you go. There's that. All right, so I have to do a nerd check. We have to see where everybody is on the nerd level. I know Justin and I are at the top. We've been. And this is basically just to make sure where everybody's at. Has anybody ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Okay. Anybody ever play something like a video game like Final Fantasy or something like that? Okay. Yes. Let's see what else I put on here. Warcraft, etc.
Chip Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Not an RPG.
Super Mario. Those were my games.
Unfortunately, Pac-Man is not what we're going to talk about.
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Woo! Skyrim.
I'm the mother of a Skyrimer.
Oh,
Well, I've watched, no, I haven't played, I'm watching.
Okay, so you're good.
I know the names, but that's it.
All right. I used to be a presenter until I took an arrow to the knee. Jokes. So all these are role-playing games, and that's basically what HabitRPG is. So an RPG is just a role-playing game. And all of these are different things. They don't have to be video games. Dungeons and Dragons, the first one was paper and pencil. You sit down with your friends, you play make-believe, you roll some dice, and it's awesome. But then it became a little more advanced as we went on. So basically, the whole idea of a role-playing game is you take on the role of a character. That character may be an elf, maybe a dwarf, maybe a cyborg from the future. Who knows? As you do things, you complete quests or tasks and missions as that character. And as you do that, your character grows and becomes more powerful through those experiences. And that is just like real life. Right? Everything we do, we grow, we should learn. That's the way it works. So an RPG is basically just a simulation of real life. With superpowers and stuff. Yep. So what HabitRPG is it's basically just a kind of a to-do list. But it's based around the idea of an RPG as a motivational factor. For kids, I used this 2 years ago in one of my classes, and the kids loved it. So it's one of those things that I really like to share with people, because organization, not my strong suit. You can ask any of these people over here.
But you get it done, buddy. You get it done. Don't worry.
Easy. So why should I use it? It's free and it's free. If you didn't come to my first talk, this probably makes no sense. Free as in freedom is capital F, free as in cost is small f. Both are important. If you don't understand the difference, I ask that you educate yourself about it a little bit, because I think it's important to educators, or just ask me and I will rant for like 6 hours about it. But it's both of those things. Organization's hard. Nobody likes doing it. And it's a common issue for many students. I'm a special ed teacher. How many kids with IEPs is organization an issue? Like all of them, right? And the problem is when we think of organization as an adult, I think, where's my calendar? I'm going to pencil things in. That is a very analog way of dealing with things. And we're dealing with, as much as I hate this word, digital natives. These are kids that don't think that way, and they're never going to think that way. And we can show them all day long to use the calendar. It's never going to work for them. So this is a good way to do it. And it's motivation. If I do something, I get something out of it. It's gamification. I know there was at least one talk this morning about gamification that I wasn't able to use or go to. But the whole idea of if I check this task off, my character gets better, and then I can do things with that character that are fun, that's an interesting idea. The nice thing about it is you can use it anywhere. Okay? It works on the web. If you have internet access of any kind, you have access to this program. It works on Chrome OS. They actually have an app. It's awesome. It's basically just a website. It also works with Android and iOS. There are actually multiple apps for it because it is free. Free and open source. People can build any kind of app they want around it. So there are different apps that can do different things with this program. Some have more features, some don't. There's official ones as well. It's extensible, so if you have some kind of other organizational system, like you're a huge Dave Allen fan and you're into getting things done, or you're using con boards, or using some other organizational system, you can still use this because it's open source. People have written extensions that like plug into this, so when you check something off there, it sends it to this program and checks it off there too. I use this janky old program from the 70s called Emacs. It's like a text-based editor, like when you watch movies and hackers, like you see the black screen with the green letters and it's like, oh, stuff's about to get real. That's what Emacs looks like. And actually it has a plugin, so when I check things in Emacs, it sends it to this, and then my character gets a boost for it. Another nice thing is because it's open source, there's the possibility of self-hosting. HabitRPG is a company. They sell subscriptions. You don't have to get a subscription to use it. You can use it for free. The subscription gives you like gems or something. It's kind of like pay-to-play things like on your like on cell phones. But because it's open source, you have the possibility of self-hosting it. So where there are features in this where you can have chats with people, you can have access to other people outside of the school that may be a little dangerous. Ideally, you could take this, put it on a server in your district, and the kids stay within that box and they never go outside of it. So they can only talk to each other. And that's a little more helpful, I think, as far as keeping them safe. I used the regular one, and to be completely honest, the kids never figured out how to do it. So it wasn't really a problem. And I had to adapt a couple things the way we used it in the classroom. But it was pretty simple to implement. So what we're going to do, and basically the whole gist of this thing, is we're going to play with this. So if you have a thing and you want to make a character, we can do that. If not, we're going to build a character, and I'm going to show you my character, which is like awesome because I've been doing this for like 2 years. It's all buffed up. And so this is the website. If you just go to HabitRPG.com, that's where you go, and you can do the play for free. HabitRPG.com. Yep, HabitRPG.com. And this thing is like super pixelated 8-bit graphics, so you know if you're about my age, it looks cool. Everybody else just thinks it is weird. So I went in last night and don't say that. I just created a new character. This character is completely blank, and we'll talk about what the different things in here are. When you start, you get a character. Your character is completely androgynous. It has no sex. It has some basic stuff on it, but it's completely random. It generates just random decorations. You can go in and change that. You have your HP or your health, and then you have your experience, and we'll talk about that. If you understand RPGs, you kind of already have an idea about what that is. We'll set this one up, and then I'll show you mine. It's kind of built out. So actually, I can go in here, and I'm kind of chunkier than that, so I'll just make it a little bigger. You can pick shirts and all sorts of stuff, so. Can't do that because I don't have gems. Now, one of the things in this are gems. Gems are, if you're a subscriber, you can get gems. You can also buy gems with real money if you want, or you can use gold and change the gold out that you earn in the game for gems. A lot of things have to be unlocked with gems. What I did with my kids when I used it in the classroom is I subscribe to this. I get the money every month because I use it all the time and I think it's worth it. And so I get I forget how many gems it is a month. I have way more than I'll probably ever spend. And so we would use that for the kids.
What's a gem?
It's just like a little token that you can use to buy things.
Okay, got it.
Okay? There's lots of different things. There's gold, there's silver, and there's gems, right?
Okay.
Once we start going through this and I'll make it something, you'll see how you can accumulate those things. So like right here, these are all the free things that I have right now, and then there's some that need to be unlocked with gems. So I think I'm a nerd, so black shirt is definitely the way to go. Red hair. I'm pretty pasty, so we'll do that. Ponytail.
There you go.
I have a flower in my hair, but I'm remarkably okay with that. There are better flowers. There are better flowers. Purple. Purple's the best. Okay, there we go. And you can unlock all these things the more you play. As you get gold and silver, you can go and buy things too. So you can like get armor and all kinds of fun stuff for your character. Once again, really all this stuff doesn't really amount to anything. It's just like pixels on a screen. But you would be surprised how much kids are motivated for like the new sword that does absolutely nothing. But it motivates me, I'm not gonna lie. It's just something I want. So you can do that, build your character out. You can pick backgrounds once you unlock them. So like you can have your character on a background. The nice thing about this game is because they went with free and open source technologies, all of the art is Creative Commons, I believe. So it's really reusable. So you'll see in my presentation, I used images from the game. That's perfectly okay, it's all Creative Commons license. I actually, when I did this with the classes, I would have the kids fill it out on paper first, because there is a way to cheat in this, and it's real easy. It kind of works on the honor system. So I had the kids fill out basically what they had here on a piece of paper. Then they would check that with me, and then we would check it into the computer. And I could basically make it look exactly like this because all the art is open source. So that's a really nice part about it. Yeah, I haven't done anything, so I don't have any stats. And then you can set up a profile. You know, I can put name, photo, name stuff about me. There's lots of social aspects to this, and we'll talk about that when we get into it, but needless to say, there's a ton to do in this program. Okay, so basically you'll see there's 4 categories. You've got habits, you've got dailies, you've got to-dos, and you've got rewards. Okay, habits are things that when you do them, you get a benefit from doing it. So like productive work. So if I did something productive, boom, I could say that. You know what? And you can go in here and edit these and do whatever you want to them. They're not that big of a deal. And then so like if I didn't do it, I could hit the minus and that would drop me. See, I lost 2 hit points because I didn't do that thing. If it's something that I'm trying to build, that's a good way to reinforce it. Now that requires, the negative aspect of habits requires you to go in there and be honest and hit it. Dailies is kind of like habits. It's something that you have to do every 24 hours. If you don't do it, it automatically takes points off your character. So with my kids, every kid had a daily attendance. And you can set it up to be Monday through Friday, skip Saturday, Sunday. If they didn't come to school, they didn't get it. And so that's a nice way of doing it. Like for me, daily, don't eat ice cream today, which I've already failed. Orange leaf! You know, things like that. Just things that are reoccurring that you want to do every day. Habits is more of a thing. Not that our kids, well, maybe our kids will be doing this. Like if I wanted to quit smoking, every time I didn't smoke and I wanted to, I could hit it and get like extra points or something like that. Just any kind of habit you want to build. A to-do is exactly what it sounds like. It's a to-do, right? Just something that you need to get accomplished. So if I go in here,
Homework would be good.
yeah. So like if it's math. And another thing that's really cool, maybe just to nerds like me, if you know Markdown, you can use Markdown tags on this, and it will respect those. So, well, helps it actually. Not
What's Markdown?
Markdown is a way of formatting plain text to where you get like features like bold, italic. It's a way of just formatting.
Okay, gotcha.
So math, we'll just say I have to do like page 328. That's none of those numbers. Numbers 1 through 24. I've got a bunch to do that day. So I hit that. Get rid of that. So. And then I can go in here and edit it. And I can be more specific. If I want to go in here and say, add different steps to this, I can do checklist steps. Right? And so every, big projects, I can have multiple to-dos inside of one to-do. I can nest them. Very getting things done GTD type thing. If I want to do like projects and things like that, that's a good way of doing it. I can put notes on it. I'm taking classes right now in university. I usually put my assignment and then, like the 3 pages of what I'm supposed to do, I'll put in that extra notes. I'll do a due date, tags. You can create tags. I'll show you when we go to my account. I've got lots of tags to where I can sort things by different, I do it by where I'm at. So like I'll have a tag for at home, at the computer, by a phone, in the car, things that I can do in different places. So when I, if I get to school and I don't know what I need to do, I hit at school and it gives me a list of all the to-dos at school that I need to get done. And then difficulty, I can, trivial, easy, medium, hard. The harder it is, the more points you get for doing it. So kids will want to make everything hard because it gets them more points. Why not? But it's not. You can change that to be any of those, and it's not a big deal. So if I save that and close it, it's edited that, and if I check it off, it will. I got 6 experience points. I got 1 gold coin and 2 silver coins. Groovy. Okay. So after you go, like right now, I'm level 1. I'm the weeniest of weenies. Right now, you can't get any lower than level 1. After the yellow bar, the star, that's my experience point. So as I do things, when it says XP, that's what that means. As I gain XP, I will gain levels. And as I gain levels, things that would only get me 2 gold, maybe next level will get me 3 gold. And so I'm gaining more the higher I get up the chain. And rewards, what you can do is, so they'll list a bunch of things. So like right now, I have a gold coin. They've got a training sword. It's 1 gold coin. Boom, and I put it on my character. So now I have a sword. That sword will let me get more things faster. So once again, when I check off a habit or something, I get it quicker. Or I'll get more for whatever. You'll see here the color codes. As something gets, and it depends, each column has a different color code. So like dailies, you want those to be green or blue. It means you're doing it every day and you're clicking it, and it will progressively get more green or blue. I forget which one it is. The more you're doing it. As you get not doing it, it turns more red and red and red and red and red and red and red. And once it gets to a certain point, every time you're not doing it, it's just like murdering you with how much it's taking off. To-dos will do the same thing. If you put due dates in here, the due dates will, as it gets closer, it will turn redder and redder and redder. So you can real quick jump in here, see visually, okay, what is the most pressing thing that needs to be done because it's the darkest color. Habits do the same thing. I believe the color scheme for the habits is exactly the same as the dailies. And you can actually make your own rewards. So like, let's type the thing. So eat ice cream, boom. I put it in there, and it made it for 10 coins. So let's say I'm doing a diet. My daily is don't eat ice cream, whatever. I can use that as spend my coins and eat ice cream, not feel bad about it because I earned it. Okay, something like that is used for that. They make pre-generated ones, like these armors and the weapons and stuff. That's all stuff that is pre-made that you don't have to worry about, but you can also make your own. So if you have a classroom and you're doing a pizza party, that could be a reward. You make a pizza party reward that's, 1,000 coins or something, and then the kids could work towards that. I'm trying to think of what, let's go to social. Yes, awesome, thank you. Okay, so the social aspect of this, like I said, it could be good, it could be bad, depending on the age of the kids you're dealing with and what you want to do. You can set up your own party. So one of the mechanics that you can do in this are, I really wish I didn't do that. You can go on quests. So and it's basically just a thing that you and your party go do together. And you gain experience for doing it. It'll be like Slay the Dragon or something. So you create a party, all your students can join that party, and then you say, hey, once we all get to a certain point, we'll go on a quest. And then the kids will get, new weapons or new armor or whatever when they complete that quest. It's a really cool way of saying, hey, we're going to do something collaboratively. And really, when you do a quest, the only thing you're doing is doing what you always did before, but now they put this big, ugly monster there that you're killing. And you still get everything you got before. It's just the motivation of having it there. It's not really anything, to be honest. It's just a motivational tool. And that's what up here in the corner, that battle monsters with friends and start a party. And you can do this and just fill out all that stuff. The other thing you can do, there are guilds, just kind of like any other computer RPG. You can create a guild, and basically guilds are just groups that have a similar, if you're chatting inside your guild, it may be a guild based around something. So like artists, the guild for artists, So you could get in here and actually talk to these people, and like just kind of like a forum almost, have a nice thing. So you could actually set this up to where you had one for your classes, so all your kids could talk across classes. Challenges are cool, and you can create challenges, but what people do is they make these challenges, and they say, it'll be something. So quick changes to be eco-friendly. So if I join this, it adds those to-dos to my list automatically. And if, whatever the challenge lasts for, so say it's a 30-day challenge, if I complete that, and I check off all those things every day like it asks me to, I would get 4 gems for doing that. So this is a good way if you are doing it for class, challenge, turn in your homework every day for 2 weeks. It adds it automatically, the kids don't have to add it goes on there automatically, and if they do it, they get gems for it, which means they can go buy newer, neater stuff that they're gonna want. And I did this with middle school kids, and I was kind of like, they're not gonna buy it. They totally bought into this, they like it. So, all right, let's see. And the hall is basically, these are the highest players in the game. It's just kind of like a leaderboard. It's nothing too impressive. You can do messages inside of it, just like emails. And the tavern is, like I said, it's just a chat and basically all your stuff. They have a really, really good wiki. So like if you want to know how something in the game works, somebody has put it in the wiki. There's lots of videos on how to use it that they have made. There's videos that other people have made. It's just really, if there's any doubt on how to do something, you should be able to find it within 2 or 3 minutes. It's really well documented. And you can go down here, another thing. I love this. This is another thing that free and open source gives you. You can request features. So you can go directly to the creators of this and say, hey, you know what, this would be really great if I could do this. And sometimes I'll do it. I've had great experience. I've actually, I think, done 3 things for here that have happened. Now, I wasn't the only person asking for it. There was several people asking for it, but you can go in here and say, if I want, this death warning and HP at-risk indicator, I can go in and vote for it. So the higher the votes, the more likely it is to get fixed in the program. So the developers are looking at it. The developers are on Twitter. They're really approachable. I've had a great experience with dealing with these people. All right, so inventory. So you can do, like I said, quests, and what you do is you get scrolls, and you do these. So collect 20 bars of soap, which is something that will happen. So when I complete a task, you get loot. So they kind of equate, if you're thinking of like an RPG game, completing a task is like slaying a monster. So you take whatever they have. So you'll get dropped. So while you're doing that quest, monsters will drop bars of soap. So after you get 20 of them, you would win that quest. So it's just another way to have a goal. And then you would get the quest scroll, so you would get another quest, and then you get 50 experience and 7 gold. So it's just another thing to push you further down the line of getting a bigger character. Pets are awesome. As you go, they will drop eggs. So you'll get eggs. There's like tigers and griffins and dragons and stuff. I think mine is a rock lobster. Just because you get these eggs and everything comes out of an egg. There's no such thing as mammals. But you get that, and then you'll feed the eggs, or you'll hatch the eggs with potions, and that will make it into a certain kind of animal. And if you feed the animal the kind of food it likes, it can become your mount. You can ride it around, and it gives you a bonus. It's completely silly. You'll see it when I like.
Take on the stuff like an arc.
Do you?
T-Rexes and stuff.
Yeah, actually, I think there might be a T-Rex in here, but yeah, when you feed them the food they like, that's what tames them, and that's how you get to ride them around. They become a mount, is what they call it. And you actually have a right here. You have a stable, and so like wolves. Let's see what else we got: tiger, panda, desert lion, foxes, white flying pigs. Like I said, there's a definite like sense of humor about this game. It's very much like a love letter to this kind of like old 8-bit RPG. A lot of kids won't get those jokes, but I do, and I appreciate it because I'm silly like that. But I mean, I'm still scrolling. Like there's that many different animals you can collect, and that's something that 90 of them right there that I can tame. That's not even counting the ones that I haven't tamed. So there's lots of playability in this, and there's lots of things you can do.
This is my question. Like,
how do you put this into the routine of your class and
Yeah, I can tell you how to do it.
tasks that you have kids do?
So when I used this the last time in class, I used it in a basic skills class. It was all students with IEPs. And we did, basically I made them fill out just kind of like, a lot of the kids had a daily check-in, check-out sheet kind of deal that they had to do on their IEP anyways. So I was like, okay, well we'll just make it, I made it look exactly like this. They came and saw me first thing in the morning. I was the first class they had. So all the day before, they would have that sheet. They'd fill it out, they'd come in and make them come up, check it with me, and I'd be, okay, put it in, I'd watch them put it in. Took like,
Check in, check out.
yeah, it's a modified version of check-in, the way I did it. Now, if you were a little more trustworthy with your kids, you could let them do it themselves. The only problem is, you can game the system real easy. So if I go here, and I do, you know, I'm gonna do a blot task, right? Boom, I just got points. I do a blot task. Boom, I just got points, all right? So it's very easy to game. So that's why I did that, because the kids figured that out within like, you know, a day, which kids that break systems, I love them. They're like my kids, I love them, because that's what I do. So, I mean, that was just a check for me to make sure that they
How can you
were honest.
monitor that? How can you see how?
I can look, and so what I did is I made a party, and all the kids in that class were in my party,
Okay.
so I could go look at their character. So if a kid was like a level 2, and I look back like 24 hours later and they're a level 16, something's gone wrong somewhere along the line. So that was just a good check. And really, after the first time, they didn't try it anymore. They actually kind of got into the game and liked the fun of it.
So every morning they would input the data from.
Right, and that was and for me that was a responsibility thing. They had the motivation built in from this to say, oh, I want to get it done because I have something to get out of it. It was that responsibility of taking it home and bringing it back. And I'll be honest, half the kids didn't bring it back, and they were upset because they didn't get to do it every day like everybody else did. What actually started happening is the kids would have one character that was for class, and then they would have a second character that they built at home. And most of the time, that was the character where they cheated and they got them all like huge and like everything. And that they were happy about that, but then they wanted to get the other character there too. And it was just a little harder for them because I made them do it the right way. So that's how I integrated it in class. It was pretty simple.
What were some of the specific tasks? You said homework, attendance.
Homework, attendance. I had them pick a habit, something that they wanted to do. So like a student that we have together that had reading issues that has since kind of graduated past that this past year. Her daily task was to read every night. And so I made her do a daily of that. And so since I knew their IEP goals, I kind of knew they had a daily or a habit, depending on what it was.
I mean, you can even do like IXL.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
That's what I was
IXL or whatever you're using, you can incorporate it into
IXL or an hour, that'd be good.
because these are completely blank and flexible. You can make anything, right? And that makes it really powerful. It also makes it very easy to game, but you know, you just gotta be vigilant about that. Equipment, I only have this poor little thing, the training sword. But as you get bigger, you have just like a whole rack of armor and stuff. Eventually, once you get to a certain point, you have everything and you just put on what looks cool. So it stops being about what it actually is. And you can build costumes. So say they do holidays in here. So like for Christmas, they have like the world is Habitica. It's a little silly. So they'll have like their version of Christmas. So they'll have like their Easter, or they'll have their spring festival. And so you can buy costumes that are like that holidays costume and put it on. And you can go in here and just make costumes and switch them out real fast. I've not played with Time Travelers. I don't know what this is. Oh, you can go back. Okay, so like you can go back and get subscribers every month. They get certain things that nobody else can buy. And so if you have like one of these hourglasses, you can go back and buy something maybe from before you were a subscriber that you see other people have that you want. I have never used it, but there you go, it's there. And then the market, like you can go in here and buy eggs to make mounts and pets, just like that. Hatching potions and food. So depending on what potion you put on what egg is what kind of animal you get. And then the seasonal shop is things that are like what's going on right now. So let's see, what are they doing now? Summer Splash is what's going on right now. So these are all the special things that are just for right now. But once that's over, you won't be able to buy those. So like I said, after July 31st, you will no longer be able to get these, unless you have one of those new hour lists, apparently. And this is if you want to use it with another program. You can take this and you get a token. Since I don't have anything, it's not going to do anything. You can get a token and put it in whatever other app you're using. You just have to look on the wiki. They have a list of what other programs they will connect to. So, like I said, Emacs, I know. Remember the Milk is a big one that people use. There's, I think, a plugin for that. So you don't have to really use this program to use it. You can just check in on this program and do something else if you're more comfortable with it. Like I said, that's what I do. All right, so I don't think there's anything. It has sound. You can have like music at the same time, which drives me crazy, so I don't ever do it. And like I said, you can go in here and get a subscription if you want. I believe it's $5 a month. And then there's the tutorials. The tutorials are just videos of how to do this. And you can see theirs is filled up like with all sorts of things. So like they use the smoking example like I had. It's red, so they're not doing so good at that. Drink a glass of water, just anything you wanted to get better at.
This is a tutorial on using
I didn't do that. So I will show you my character because that's probably... That was the biggest, scariest thing about this for me was it's the internet and people tend to not be able to control themselves on the internet. But we, like I said, the kids never even used it as far as I knew.
They had to think about if they did, could you see what they were thinking?
I think so. That's why I'm much more interested in self-hosting this.
But you do this in a small group with you right there in the morning.
Right, they interact with it with me there. Now they could get on when I'm not there. I think that's more of just, you know, that's less of a technology issue, more of a behavior issue. Like we need to talk about why the kids doing it. It has nothing to do with the technology. The technology just makes it happen. All right, so I actually last night finished everything that I had on here. So like I said, tags. So I have at home, at work, at phone, at computer, at errands, you know, at read review, at contact, and at prepare. These are all, if you know anything about getting things done, which is a organizational thing, these are just contexts that I use. It's kind of, I use a modified version of that system. And so if I want to see if I had a to-do, so let's just say, I actually do need to do this, so I'll just put this on here. I gotta write this paper tonight. Yay me. So due date, we'll say that's time. Tags, okay, I'm gonna do it at home, at my computer, and yeah. Say this is hard because writing's hard. So if I had, let's make another one, just we'll call this one blah. And I'm going to give this the tag of at the phone. You know, that's the only place I can do this. For me, if I go up here, as I get rid of these, things will only pop up once they're in those categories, right? So I can sort things out and only see what's important at that time. So I use that all the time. And like I said, you can see my character. I'm level 39. Like I said, I've been doing this a while. I have a rainbow hat and a rock boxer pet. I don't know why. I just thought it was cool. You'll see I have another bar at the bottom. That's my mana. So once you get to, I forget what level it is, you can pick what class you are. So just like your trope of RPGs, you could be like a fighter, you could be a mage, or you could be any one of these, you know, characters. I'm a mage, so I get mana, which means I can cast spells and I get magic points for things. It's just another thing you can earn. It's just, that's all it does. It really doesn't have much. You can use spells to get in like quests and stuff to do better. And you see I've got more, see I have facial hair and stuff that I didn't have. And if I wanted to go in here and I can change what my character looks like by just clicking things off. So right now that's equipped. I just take that off, I can take that off, I can take that off. I can go to my mounts. I could, where is that? Oh, mantis shrimp, I'm sorry, it was mantis shrimp. I could get rid of him, you know, I could ride a work it instead, you know, why not? Or turkey, turkeys are awesome. We'll ride a turkey, why not? Then I have my little pet and get rid of him or add another pet. And so these are ones that I've hatched that, you know, as I feed them things, like if I give him, so I'm gonna give him the cake, see what he like. Boom. Sure. Doesn't seem to enjoy it, so it really didn't help. But you'll find cake as you do quests and stuff. So the market is, you can see I have a lot more things in the market. You can unlock it and more things as you go along. But really, I think right now level 39 is as high as you can get. So basically I beat the game, I guess you could say. But I still use it, I don't know why. It's just like, oh, I can get this pet that I don't have for no reason other than I'm weird and I want to collect pixels. But really, for me, it's more about the motivation. The kids really buy into it. It lets them be organized and not think about it, which is something they really need to get down. I know sometimes I don't do my job as well as I could because I'm not as organized as I should be. This has helped me. I know it has. So it's one of those things that I like to share with my kids if they get into it. I haven't found a way to integrate it into big classes. Like right now I co-teach. So we have like 30, 35 class size. It's a lot harder to do there. I haven't really even tried it, to be honest. And I'm a little scared with that many kids to not be able to monitor it. There is plans, they have talked about having like a school-based version of this where they run it for you and you pay them and they take care of everything on the back end and secure it. I'm all for that if they do that. I think that would be great. I know you can self-host it. I think some of the features are not there yet though. So some of the things that you can do in here you wouldn't be able to do if you had it on your own server. Which I need to play around with. I just need to see if I can go on that server. But really, that's all there is to this. This isn't anything, not rocket surgery. It's super simple. And it's just one of those things, if you enjoy this kind of thing, have at it. You know, if it's not something, it may be something that your kids or kids you have in class would like. This one's gonna be a short one. All right, so there's my contact stuff. That's my podcast. You can check it out if you want. There's my email. Questions, comments, concerns, hate mail, any of those things I enjoy, especially the hate mail. I love those. Anybody have questions about HabitRPG?
Do you have any hate mail to share in our remaining time?
I don't know that I do, to be honest. Usually it's just my friends badgering me about it. But.
Hey, can you collaborate with Tier 2 to come up with some kind of check-in, check-out that's electronic instead of paper pencil?
Yes, they're all so. This is just one tool. There are tons of tools.
So many things that we could use, but
right. There are several apps for phones that do this. The same kind of idea, some sort of gamification of it. I just really like this one because it speaks to me.
we're looking
My
for
internet.
something that would like do the percentages and the teacher could do, student could do. I mean, this is separate from it. It's the same kind of idea. Be thinking about that.
In that case, I would just write that.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, if that's all you wanted to do, that's really easy to put together. Like that would take
We'll talk.
very little time.
We'll talk.
We can do
I'll
that.
buy cupcakes.
Yes! Cupcakes. for the
Or
Lord.
ice cream.
Ice
What?
cream and cupcakes.
See, I'm not the eggs.
Okay, I'll alternate.
Yeah.
It always sounds good.
I stopped going this way, I started going this way. We're trying to reverse that. All right, that's all I've got. Like I said, this is going to be a short one. So, actually, it's not that
4 minutes short.
What?
So you're 4 minutes short.
4 minutes short, so it wasn't as short as I thought.
Appreciate that.
But the idea is having the students self-monitor their behavior.
Right, and motivating them to do it on their own. And this is, like I said, this is just one tool. There's lots of tools. I like this one because it's free and open source, and that's my bag. That's what I talk about. There are others that aren't. I just don't use them. I can't really talk about them.